Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the basement. This is Eddie, your host tonight. Ozzy couldn't make it today. Like we talked about last week, if you did pay attention to the San Diego Comic-Con 2022 announcements that we were planning on doing, today is all comic book filled news that was announced back in San Diego. I want to run right through this for you guys. A lot of exciting stuff here. Some of the stuff I don't even know what to even think of right now, but then there's a whole bunch of new things, which is great to come by. Starting off with Marvel, we have something called the Tiger Division. All right, this is going to be a 5-issue series from Emily Kim and Chris Lee. It's a South Korean hero team led by White Fox. I believe that's a new character that has been introduced already in the Marvel lineup, and they're joined by Luna Snow, Takagagi, Lady Bright, Mr. Enigma, the General, and Gun are the two. I have not read these guys, but I'm pretty sure I know White Fox. But it is releasing in November 2nd to be specific. Hey, keep a lookout on there, guys. Okay, moving on, we have Extreme X-Men. Okay, it's another new series announced. Again, plenty of X-Men stuff out there, but Extreme, with the X in there. Let's see what happens. Chris Claremont and Salvador LaRocca, they're returning for this 5-issue series as well. It's set during their 2000s comic book run, serving as a direct sequel to the series, and that's honestly pretty awesome. The team Claremont and LaRocca, they're known. Everybody knows these guys. So the lookout for that in November 30th, because that should be pretty fun. And again, it's only a 5-issue series. It's barely a mini, so it's either going to be jam-packed like large issues, like very large issues for 5 issues, or they're going to give you a nice solid story that it's going to give a lot of fans that were looking for a continuation to their run some fan service there. So we're going to move on from that. We have Strange Academy, the finals ongoing series, right? It just got announced as well. Scotty Young and Humberto Ramos, they've returned for this. It's going to come out in October 26th. So look out for that. A lot of people love Strange Academy. I haven't really gotten into it. I know Miguel did, I think, for a little bit. But, Scotty Young, he's awesome. You know what I mean? I really love a lot of the stuff that he does come out with. I don't get to everything, but that's big news for all you Strange Academy fans. And for anyone keeping up for anything current right now, also coming on November 2nd, Axe, or this is Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals Judgment Day. This is the Omega one-shot being announced. If you guys know anything about that, Judgment Day is coming. It's the next big event going on that is really making the 3 major powers in the Marvel Universe for superhero teams for the most part. I don't know if Eternals you would consider that, but there are heroes in their own right, and for the most part, and they're all coming to clash. And if you guys know anything about Judgment Day, there's a little bit being mixed up from what Eternals are calling the X-Men now being deviants, because they learned how to master immortality. They're claiming it is a mutation because they're mutated and they're mutants and all that. They are the next ones on the chopping block. So I find it fun that it's a little mix on Axe, which is give them the axe and everything, cut them loose, and also it's still the Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals. But again, this is going to be really fun. Kieran Gillen is going to be writing this one shot with art by Guy Villanova. I want to say I saw a couple of his stuff, but I'm not too positive. But Kieran Gillen, badass right there. Okay, if you read anything from his other stuff from independent titles called Once and Future, one of my favorite series out right now. Kieran Gillen is the man, so I'm really excited to see what he does with the Omega one shot. There is a new comic book series coming from Jonathan Hickman and Valerio Schetti, coming in 2023. Nothing else from that. So, but you gotta appreciate the fact that they're teasing Jonathan Hickman coming back out with more stuff, because again, he pretty much steamrolled everything going through with the brand new X-Men that we have now with Krakoa. Everything that's going on from Wolverine and everything. He pretty much headed the whole X-Men line of projects. Krakoa is far from done. His story isn't done either. So but right now it is on that little hiatus from going on to a lot of other things that are happening. But eventually we'll come back through that. So who knows? That new comic book series might be another X-Men related title from Hickman, but let's wait to find out. But that's coming into 2023, so early next year. Finally, another new Fantastic Four also begins in November. Not that I have anything against Dan Slott's run. It's freaking phenomenal. Really fun. Love it so much. Finally getting the Thing married, for God's sakes. Like, he needed that. And Johnny's getting a lot of, just desserts for a lot of the stupid shit he's done over the years. So, fun run if you haven't already checked it out. But there will be a new Fantastic Four starting up in November as well. Now, Jason Aaron, you know him. He's a household name, especially when it comes to the God of Thunder. Creator of the God Butcher and so on, and Unworthy Odin's son, Mighty Thor. So if you guys know about Jason Aaron, he's also still writing the current Avengers run. But his run is crossing over with the Avengers Forever, Avengers of 1 billion BC, and the new comic run, Avengers Assemble Alpha. Okay, this is going to be interesting. It is just a one-shot of releases in November. So we're going to get a lot of stuff from Jason Aaron. He's very big with the storytelling overall. You know what I mean? As you know, he had the plan for, King Thor from the get. All right, all the way back from the times of Unworthy Thor and all that kind of stuff. He cemented this story to perfection. So I'm waiting for the big reveal with the Avengers as well, because 1 billion BC I thought was fantastic. Those Avengers being added into everything, and right now the Council of Mephistos and all that's been really interesting to be reading. I'm a little backed up, but maybe we can see that on a catch-up episode, but we'll get to that. Doctor Strange Fall Sunrise. Okay, this is going to be a 4-issue limited series from Trad Moore, releasing in November. So I think this is bringing back Doctor Strange already. I'm not too certain, because right now we do know Clea, she's in the seat of the Sorcerer Supreme and filling in for the dead Doctor Strange. So Fall Sunrise sounds like maybe something's coming back for our hero already. A lot of buzz for him from Multiverse of Madness being out in theaters and all that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty sure they were already trying to itch him back into the fold somehow, right? We're getting to celebrate the 650th Iron Man legacy with issue of Iron Man in number 25, also coming in November. That's big. It's 650th. All right, that's Iron Man. He's one of the staples of the Marvel universe. You can't talk about anybody of the Avengers, or even just anyone in the Marvel universe, without talking about Tony Stark's Iron Man. It's going to be freaking phenomenal. It's going to be a good one. I'm sure it's going to be more of a ensemble issue with a whole bunch of stories giving us all the different versions of Tony Stark, dating back to the playboy philanthropist to the one struggling with addiction. He still is, he still has his moments, but he's been doing very well, so I'm very happy about that. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, ongoing series from Jordan Ifwiko, and I'm sorry if I murder anyone's names. I apologize. I should have prepped this a little earlier. And Alba Glex. They have a new series coming out for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. That's always been a fan favorite, so look out for that in December of 2022. So that's going to be a fun one. Spider-Man and X-Men crossing over. So we do know that there was a little sparkle of that recently in the Hellfire Gala. We have Wolverine and Spider-Man going after, Mary Jane right now, because she's being held hostage by Moira Taggart, right? Robot Moira, right? And I guess maybe that kind of is itching this along. So this is interesting here. So the series is going to be called The Dark Web. Hailing from Zeb Wells. He's a great writer. Love a lot of the stuff that he came out with. Like Avengers No Surrender is one of my favorite ones that he's done. But he's also, worked with a large cast with that one. Then there's a Prelude Comics releasing in November, so we'll get at least a little bit of taste of that in early November. The Dark Web Alpha, because you know how they like to do these little one-shots. This #1 is releasing also in December. So we have that coming. The series will tie into the current run of The Amazing Spider-Man. So if you're keeping up with that, at least this is going to make sense. Okay, that's big. I'm actually a little behind, hence the catch-up series. So that's going to be some good stuff. The additional tie-ins, one-shots, and limited series will also spin out into this new series. The Amazing Spider-Man #14 will be the special Prelude issue to reintroduce Chasm, which awesome. All right, I'm not a big fan of Chasm, but I'm interested to see what they're doing with Chasm because I loved Ben Reilly. All right, and I really liked his Beyond series that he little arc that they gave him. I thought they could have gave him more because, I like him as Scarlet Spider, but I think him as that Spider-Man and giving him at least a little bit of a foot to stand on, I thought that was a really well done. I think that was the last issues that I really enjoyed for Amazing Spider-Man. But hey, like I said, I'm still reading it. So we get to have him be reintroduced, since 894, and also Spider-Man Venom Free Comic Book Day. So it hasn't been around for a little bit. Also releasing in November 23rd. The Gold Goblin Dark Web tie-in Gold Goblin. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, I'm not even going to touch that right now, right? It's going to be also a tie-in. Limited series coming from Christopher Cantwell. He's awesome, especially his current Iron Man run that he's doing. Beautiful. I fucking love it. And Lana Medina, coming out November 2nd. So that's going to be for Spider-Man and the X-Men crossover Dark Web. I like the name, actually. That's really fun, actually, the Dark Web. You can't go wrong with that. All right. So jumping in to some DC comic news, all right? Milestone Generations. There's going to be a HBO Max documentary announced. All right, it has been announced already. Streaming the week of July 29th. So actually, it just came out. I'm not sure. Actually, funny enough, I should have read this a little earlier. Just announced, it was announced back last week during San Diego Comic-Con. But this documentary should be amazing. I love the Milestone Generation. I like the rebooting of the universe, giving a lot of new artists everything and a chance to really let their voice be heard. The Static Shock from Vita Ayala, I freaking love it. It's one of the best series on it. But don't get me wrong, Hardware, the new Blood Syndicate out right now is dope. Icon and Rocket, really fun to read as well. Lots of good stuff. So when you get a chance, go check out the documentary on HBO Max. Okay, there's a new series for Gotham City, Year 1 announced, coming from Tom King and Phil Hester. This is going to chronicle the origin of Gotham City and how it became the cesspool of violence and corruption it is today, eventually leading to the birth of Batman. This is going to be released in early October. This is going to be interesting because they're mixing up a lot of the lore going through all this. I'm sure they're going to, mix up a little bit of the Court of Owls. They're going to be doing a little bit of, all the mobsters, from the Falcones and all that kind of stuff. So it should be fun to read. And that Tom King does an amazing job when it comes to his gangsters and, the backstories of a lot of these characters, the ones that we don't really think about at all. So I think this one is going to be really fun to read. Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. All right, this is, if you guys haven't been reading up on the Joshua Williamson's run right now for Dark Crisis, you need to catch up. All right, phenomenal. I freaking love this series. I've been a big voice for saying we need to get some new, fresh heroes into the lineups. Is just one of those things that I have always loved. I loved Batman Beyond specifically because of the fact that he showed that Bruce Wayne had to get out of the cowl. Eventually, he got old, and we got a worthy successor. Don't get me wrong, I love Dick Grayson, I love Damian, I love them all, but it's also a matter of this is a completely different timeline, and we saw a different route that the team went on, and that's example why I've always loved. I love what they're doing with Dark Crisis, especially I'm a big fan of John Kent right now as Superman. We have Yara Flor going into the footsteps of Wonder Woman, and I think she's been written fantastic. I hope they keep up this flair of hers, given by Joelle Jones. So back to it, we have the Dark Crisis Infinite Earths. Okay, already big. We know Infinite Earths is one of the biggest events ever to happen on the DC universe. So to know this is the first of 3 issues that will be reprinted to feature the new title. So it's really dope. All right, so we're going to get a little bit of extra everything. I think this is going to be just a new play to it, but it might actually just be like it sounds like. It's just going to be a reprint. So look out for that coming soon, right? Continue with the Dark Crisis line. We have Dark Crisis, the Deadly Green, #1. This is a super Swamp Thing. All right, it's freaking awesome. Ram V, one of the best writers out right now. So to see that he's continuing with the Swamp Thing line that he has right now, phenomenal. All right, it's 16 issues that he has right now for the current run. So to see that it's continuing up on October 11th. To Super Swamp Thing, I think that's pretty freaking amazing, because if you guys read anything with Future State and all that kind of stuff, you might see what he might be planning with this run and everything with Super Swamp Thing. I think it's going to be pretty phenomenal. Definitely check it out, all his work. Now there's Dark Crisis, the Dark Army, from Mark Waid, Dennis Tulliver, and Delilah S. Donson. This is going to come out on November 22nd. I think it's pretty safe to say this Dark Army is pretty much the 5 fingers of the dark, the darkness and all that kind of stuff. You saw them from Apocalypse. I'm sorry, Dark Eyes. Oh God, I was talking about so much X-Men over before. So Dark Side, Mephisto, Pariah, the name of the few, and all that kind of stuff, and the Hand. It's should be pretty dope. Okay, the Black Lantern, like the Necron. So we have a lot there. Dark Crisis Warzone, #1, from Jeremy Adams and Stephanie Williams, coming out December 6th. I don't know. I just know it's Dark Crisis, and I'm going to be getting it. I'm going to read it. I hope you guys do too. So to move into a little bit of something different, because this is actually mixture, right, which is really fun. I think they're doing a good job with these prequel comics. If you guys are interested in the Gotham Knights video game, there is a prequel comic that was announced. It's going to be written by Evan Narcisse and Abel. Yeah, that's right. It's going to be a 6-issue monthly debuting on October 25th. It will include an actual exclusive code to redeem in the game for some new items. So, just like the Fortnite stuff, I'm sure you guys might be interested if you're into it, and if Gotham Knights does as well as everybody's hoping, I'm pretty sure something's going to go really well with that. But hopefully you guys leave me a copy if need be. So, moving on, Punchline is getting a new comic book series. I don't know how I feel about that. I like Punchline. I just don't think it's necessary for her to have her own series. I really like even the Harley Quinn stuff. I like a lot of the Harley Quinn, but not all of it. You know what I mean? Some of them are hit and miss for me. But hey, it's going to be Punchline, the Gotham game. Written by Teeny and Blake Howard, art by Gleb Melikov, coming out October 25th as well. So I think, hey, if you're a Punchelly fan, Jorge Jimenez did a beautiful job, with the character design. James Tynion, wrote a great character. I really enjoy reading her from what she's been in so far and some of the small side stories. But like I said, I don't see that she's that popular right now. So hey, to each his own is coming out October 25th. Go check it out. This one is going to be fun. I'm really excited. This is GCPD, The Blue Wall. Okay, this one sounds really fun. All right, this is literally about the GCPD, obviously, and I'm hoping it's more of a mixture of like the old stuff from when James Gordon was on the as commissioner. And, it's moving forward to where Renee Montoya is currently the commissioner and everything in place. I think it's going to be fun. John Ridley, great writer, and Stefano Raffaelli. Definitely saw most of their art before. I'm not too sure. It's been a while. But it's also going to be slated for October 18th. All right, a lot of good stuff coming in right before the end of the year. So this should be pretty cool. Another good one, and of course, I probably said this already a lot. This writer, Matthew Rosenberg, freaking phenomenal. All right, art by Carmen D. I'm gonna murder this. I'm so sorry. Gian Domenico. Okay, I have to see their art and everything. I can't think of it in my head right now. But with Matthew Rosenberg, a great writer. He's written things for Marvel, Punisher specifically recently. That was more recent stuff. But Matthew Rosenberg is one of the best writers out as well. One of my favorites and everything. He's going to be penning the Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing. That sounds fun, all right? Because, so far with James Tynion run of Joker, I didn't expect it to be so good, because especially since, what's a Joker without a Batman, and vice versa. Batman at least has a whole rogues gallery to keep you occupied, even if it's not all Joker. But to see that Joker was on his own little side story and all that kind of stuff it's actually pretty entertaining. I need to finish that one up too. I need to see how it ends. But with this one saying that he has stopped laughing, I'm all for it. I love this one because there is that version of Joker back in the Joker War and Riddles that Tom King wrote up. That was really interesting. There's something very sadistic about him that he's saying that just nothing makes him laugh anymore, and it just made him a lot more scarier. And I think it's really interesting. I'm really excited about that. Like I said, Matthew Rosenberg, awesome guy. You know what I mean? Like, awesome writer, everything to support. Speaking of Vita Ayala again, she has a new Static series coming out, Shadows of Dakota. This one's going to be also illustrated by Nicholas Draper Ivy. This one, I want to say this one is a Prestige title. I should have double checked that one, but this one is going to be really fun. Her Static series right now, like the arc that she wrote, is freaking phenomenal. So if you haven't checked out any of the Milestone stuff, please go do that. Superman: The Harvest of Youth. Interesting stuff. It's going to be a graphic novel written by Sina Grace. So we know that this it's non-canon, obviously, but it's going to be a full-on graphic novel on a whole other thing. It sounds pretty crazy. Harvest of the Youth. That's actually pretty intense. I'm not going to lie. Pretty intense. But and to wrap it up, we got a couple sneak peeks at San Diego. This one was Blue Beetle Graduation Day from Josh Trujillo, and then also a sneak peek at Constantine, Distorted Illusions from Cami Garcia. I love Constantine. I think he's one of the most underrated characters in DC. I really like the magic, and I love like how he gets around things. Just because he has demon blood in him doesn't mean that he's that much stronger than anyone else. Blue Beetle, of course, there's a lot of news about him coming out soon, and especially with the movies coming out, it's probably going to be a lot of fun. So, guys, that's everything for the comic news that we had. Definitely took on a lot. I hope you guys take off a couple of pieces, and obviously most of these are going to probably hit your pull list one way or another, I'm sure. You know, I think there's a lot of good coming out in the next couple of months. I think there's going to be phenomenal. You know, one way or another, I was probably going to pick up half of these, but you know, a lot of these have a lot more potential than what I said. Like, you know, what they are really mentioning. You know, I'm sure, I believe it's on the website if you want to see any of the covers and so on and so forth, and a little bit more detail for some of these runs. You know, feel free to go to the Nerdy Basement website, and then we definitely have some of them covered there, and some of this news covered there. You know, and, you know, hey, that's it. You know, I hope this, you know, was informative. Hope we had a good time. I had a good time. You know, next episode, me and Ozzy will be back on. Most likely, maybe Boozer might be back. And, you know, we'll keep on doing the good stuff, guys. You know, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, don't forget to check us out on Patreon. You know, click that Audible link if you don't have Audible yet. You know, it's a great resource. And you know what? Yeah, again, you know, don't forget to tell your friends about us, and we'll keep on doing the good stuff, man. All right. So thanks again, as always. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.